We now go to the gentleman from Florida, Mr. DeSantis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. General, can you explain the significance of the fact that the J2 shop at AFRICOM wasn't just the intelligence shop, but the intelligence and knowledge development shop?
Yes. As I also provided in the written statement, the IKD, Intelligence and Knowledge Development Division, was the nomenclature used to identify what would be a typical 2 shop in other commands. Later on, it became a J2 shop, but retained the knowledge development piece. Knowledge development also has more to do with many sources that may be unclassified, open source type reporting, etc. So you are trying to bring in and coalesce a more comprehensive intelligence picture utilizing knowledge. In a command and in a theater of operations such as Africa, where you have a great need for intelligence and information, but not many resources to go get it, using open source and other types of things, best source of information in some instances.
And so in that position, you were able to observe the interplay between the military and the State Department as it relates to those issues, correct?
The exchange of information, others as well, our three-letter partners.
In terms of the military response, I mean, sometimes people, and we've had other hearings, and they've said, well, look, we would not have been able to get there in time. So, and my response has always been, once you know that you have men in contact, you don't know how long the whole enterprise was going to last. I mean, once the first word of that we have problems at this annex, it could have lasted 12 hours, 24, 48 hours. So the idea that somehow looking back in hindsight and saying, oh, well, you know, we didn't marshal forces, we wouldn't have gotten there in time, that just doesn't satisfy me. Am I wrong in that?
No, sir, I don't believe you are. It's one of the motivating factors for me to be here in this environment right now, is so that we don't do this again.
And my thing is, you know, you guys are waiting there for the State Department. If State Department said we need to help these guys, and even if you ended up getting there a little bit late, I think it matters to the American people that there was the effort made and that we were willing as a nation to devote the resources we had to try to save those men. I think it would matter to those families that was done. And so I appreciate you coming here today. I mean, it seems to me this whole idea with the video, this deception that was propagated to the American people, one, it actually hurt the counterterrorism efforts we've heard on this committee immediately after. Libyans were upset with us because they had actually tried to take action against terrorists, and here we're saying it's just a video and trying to downplay the fact, our own administration, that it was a terrorist attack. It actually, I think, brought more attention to the video throughout the Islamic world and gave Islamists a pretext to pursue more violence. And so you have a situation where the American people, based on the emails we've seen in this investigation, families of the fallen were deceived about who perpetrated that attack and have not been level with about our government's response. And so to this day, and we spend a lot of time talking about who did what in the White House, the emails, and that's very important because the truth matters. But even to this day, the perpetrators have not been brought to justice at all. I mean, if forces really couldn't have made it there in time to prevent these Americans from being killed, then at least we'd like to see the administration avenge their death by bringing these terrorists to justice. And yet to this day, this has just been something that has happened, and we have not responded in kind. And I think that really is something that bothers me to this day. So I thank the witnesses for coming, and I yield back to
would the gentleman